Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS Small Business. Welcome to this Small Business Update. Today I want to talk to you about the Personal Property Securities Act and the associated Personal Property Securities Register. Have you heard about it? I hope so, but unfortunately it would appear that the vast majority of Australian small-medium business operators have not heard about this legislation and its associated register. And that's very unfortunate, because ignorance of this particular legislation can cause your business to fail. Since the legislation became fully operative from the end of January 2012, in excess of $120 million has been lost by Australian businesses who owned an asset, but had made the fatal mistake of not registering on a government register called the Personal Property Securities Register. Various industry associations have estimated that their members have lost somewhere between an additional $100 to $200 million through non-registration on this register, and they didn't bother going to court because when they went and got some legal advice as to their position, when someone else seized their assets, or when a liquidator sent a preferential payment claim to them, they were told by the solicitor then that they had no case because they hadn't registered on the Personal Property Securities Register. This is serious. It can cause your business to fail, and indeed, unfortunately, some businesses around Australia have already failed because of the effects of this legislation. So please do two things. Consult a commercial solicitor and ask him or her to prepare for you appropriate terms of trade agreement and a retention of title agreement. Then you need to consult your solicitor or advisor to implement an appropriate system within your business to ensure that the terms of trade and retention of title forms are submitted each time you submit a set of information to a potential new customer for them to sign, so that your team can lodge the required forms with the Personal Property Securities Register before you make the first sale. You don't have to continue it for future sales because the solicitor will draft the agreement that it covers future sales as well. But the important thing is you need to get that registration made with the Personal Property Securities Register. If you have stock on consignment, it's another big problem area, so that transaction should be registered. If you rent or lease assets, and this has been one of the big problem areas under this legislation, you need to have registered that transaction on the register. If you have any plant and equipment, vehicles or other assets stored at someone else's premises, they are potentially at risk unless you have sought some advice and have followed the system that your accountant has implemented for you. This legislation can also apply to intellectual property that you have developed, that you've licensed to someone else to use. Indeed, this legislation covers every business asset. Let me repeat that. Every business asset except land and attachments to land. Some people say to me, oh, it's only personal property. I even had someone one day contact me and said, oh yeah, it'll be my squash racket and my golf clubs. Nothing could be further from the truth. This is business assets. Why the government elected to call it personal property, I got no idea. But you need to understand that your business assets are potentially at risk. I'd like to invite you to attend a special webinar where we can explore in some more depth how this legislation operates and how you can implement systems to protect your business from the problems that this legislation can present. We have a special webinar on Thursday the 28th of April at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I hope you can join us then. Please go to www.esssmallbusiness.com.au to register for the webinar. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.